Welcome to Live at 0 BPM, bringing live music to you. Tonight, it's the Best of 2021 and a Half Part 2 featuring the Carrie Frank Trio, Ken Wilde and Tom Rizzo, the Quinn Johnson Trio, Switchblade 3, and the Billy Hulting Trio. Plus, Jazz Roundtable guests Terry Gibbs, Don Randy, and Ron Jones. If you care to donate, click on the donate/tip jar link in the description or on our website at liveat0bpm.com/tipjar. You can also tip on Venmo at ZEROBPM. And now, let's get to the music with your host, Grammy Award-winning percussionist and mallet player, Billy Hulting.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another Best Of show. It's just me and you tonight, and I got some cool clips to play. And I just want to say, we don't have a ton of people on here yet, but when we do, I will say it again. Please like and share, thumbs up, subscribe, follow. All of that stuff really helps us. And you'll also notice tonight I have a new microphone. I'm going to tell you about that in a little bit. But let's jump on into this. I see we already have some regulars. I see Tova's here. I see Phil is here. If you're out there, say hello. If this is the first time you've ever watched it, this is a good one because you're going to see a little bit of what we do on the show. This is a clips from a bunch of the shows. I think I've got 8 clips to show tonight, including bands and some stuff from the Jazz Roundtable. So if you are out there and you've seen the live band shows, but you haven't seen the Jazz Roundtables, you'll get a little tiny snippet of that and see what that's all about. So thank you. My last work trip of the year is done. So I'm around. I may go on a vacation, believe it or not. But I will say here right now, Phil O'Connor's here, Tova's here, and Bill Reyes is here. Hey, he's liking and sharing, and Andre's here. And Andre, you've got a gig coming up. Put that info in the. Is it tomorrow night you're playing at the Industry Cafe? I saw that, so I will put that info in there. So if any of you are in LA want to go see Andre play, who's one of our most consistent tippers and guests, that'd be great. And he's in Palmdale right now. And it's Phil. It is not a Telefunken. I will tell you about it in a little bit. But I want to jump right into this, and I'm going to start off with a very fun, happy clip by the Carrie Frank Trio. He tells the name of it, but this is also Nadav Peled and Vince Fawcett Jr. is playing drums. I showed a clip the last Best Of show, but I want to show you the whole track because it's such a great track. And let me change this to this, and here we go. So you guys are going to play another one of Carrie's tunes, right?
Yeah, that's right. This is another one of mine. This is called The Topper Tree. And
all right.
Long story short, this one is my now fiance Michelle. One of our first dates was a hike in LA, I think in Santa Monica Mountains, and I was nervous and all that stuff. So I combined like top and closer, and somehow, like I said, I'll meet you at the Topper Tree, and that turned into this song.
That's adorable. All right, guys. All right, that was the Kerry Frank trio, and I think I put up in the chat rooms that's Nadav Peled and Vince Fawcett Jr. playing drums with him. But I just had to play the whole track, and we have some people here. Hey, Rick Craig from Florida is here. Hey, Rick, and Fred from Minnesota is great. He's Chris has a great comment about that. He just says it's not like the lead lines are easy, yet he's simultaneously doing a crazy walking bass line. It's like he's got a separate brain for each hand. Kerry is absolutely amazing. He's so much fun to watch, and he couldn't be a nicer guy. So, well, let me tell you about this microphone. This is a Samson. This is their broadcast mic, and I'm just plugged it in this afternoon. I'm testing it out. I've got it. If you're a mic geek, I can tell you more about it. It's got a low end roll off. It's also got a mid boost, just like the. Can you see this one? Just like the SM7B that Shure makes. So I'm testing them all out. The one thing I do like about this is it has an on-off button on the microphone. And if you ever notice that I'm always leaning over and forgetting to unmute myself, yes, you've all helped me out with that. But now I can just turn it on and off from here. I don't have to worry about any crazy buttons. So anyway, let me know how it sounds. If it sounds good, we'll keep using it. So anyway, let's move on a little bit here. That was Kerry Frank, and I'm going to slow it down. And this was just 2 weeks ago, the last bands we had. It was Ken Wilde and Tom Rizzo, a little duo. Ken and Tom are both main staples in the music industry out here in Los Angeles. Wilde has played with a billion people, and I've worked with him a lot on some stuff. I never met Tom Rizzo before, and he was fantastic. And here's a little tune in 6/8, and I'm sorry, I don't have the name of this one. I screwed up. I should have called and found out. So let's get on to this clip here. I got to learn to remember to hit that button. And I guess my hand claps aren't working on my end today. I don't know what's up with that. So anyway, thank you. Hey, we got a couple of tips. Andre, Chris, and Fred, who are some of our most consistent patrons. I should change the name to Live at Andre, Chris, and Fred. I probably should do that for all the help that they've been over the years. So, and just so you know, tonight, any tips that come in, I did a part 1 of the best of a couple of weeks ago, and then I'll do this, and I'll probably do one more in December. And then I take all the tip money from those 3 shows and I divide it amongst everybody that's played, and they send them all. It's like sending residuals to musicians. And I think last year when we did it, everybody got like an extra 10 or 12 bucks, which was 37 people. It was actually kind of cool, and it was a surprise to everybody. But you know, if you want to support live music, please send something in. And no big pressure tonight because we got a killer lineup coming up this next month. It's going to be amazing. So what I want to get into now is, and actually somebody asked me a question. I'm sorry, I missed somebody asked me a question in the chat room about the microphone. I think it was Joyce. Joyce, I don't know if it's good for singing or not. It seems very, very similar to the SM7B, which if you saw Brandon Fields playing here, he loved it. I used that for Nick Gomez on sax also. So when somebody comes in, next sax player I'll have them try it out. I'll have some singers try it out as well. And we'll go from there. We'll see how it sounds. But right now, I like it. The other thing that's really impresses me about this microphone, this is just a technical thing, is it's XLR, which is a regular mic cable. It's also USB-C. So it can go directly into your computer without having to have a mixer or anything like that. And, you know, the other thing that impresses me is it not only comes with a USB-C cable, it also comes with a USB-C to A, which if you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. It's just they thought it through, which is really great of them to do that. So I haven't tested it out with the USB because, like I said, I just got it a couple hours ago. So I will do that. But now I want to jump up and do a little bit. I have 3 clips from the Jazz Roundtable, and normally we have like 2 or 3 guests on, but sometimes we just have one, as we did for several of the shows this year, and the next 2 coming up, which I'll tell you about in a bit. But this is Don Randy. Don Randy is the owner of the Baked Potato, and he was from the Wrecking Crew, the famous group of guys that recorded all the stuff in the studio. And he played with and toured with a bunch of people. And he has this amazing story about Nancy Sinatra, and these boots were made for walking. I think it's a short story. I think you'll enjoy this. Nancy Sinatra, these boots are made for walking.
Yes, they sure are. Nancy is, well, you said that's the love of my life, I swear. She and I have been together since 1966. She's the nicest person, the greatest lady to ever work for. I've watched her children grow up, and she was just a great human being to everyone. Everyone around her, they would do anything for her. When we were doing Boots Are Made for Walking, it's written by and produced by Lee Hazelwood. And as we're getting ready to do it, I hear them yelling at each other in the booth, and I just look up. And you can hear, and Lee's telling her, no way we're going to do this song. It's a man's song. She says, you got to be kidding me. This is a woman's song. And they're really shouting at each other over it. And finally says, okay, you win, you know. And he goes out and says something to Chuck Berghofer, who plays the great bass line on that. And we went back in, and that became one of the monster hits of all time and a signature record for her, because the minute you hear that bass playing in her shows, the audience goes crazy. They know it's going to be These Boots Are Made for Walking.
Yeah, when I heard that story, I can't even imagine a man singing that song.
No.
I don't think anybody can.
Well, he wanted to do it for himself. That's why.
That's what it was. I'm getting used to the button. So anyway, that was a great conversation. Don Randy also played, but he's got stories about the Wrecking Crew, Don Spector, Elvis, all these sorts of things. You can find all these on the archives page on the website, which is live@0bpm.com. But the @ is AT. I don't know what I was thinking when I came up with that URL, but it's live, just like the logo, live@zerobpm.com. And you can see the link in the top for the archives. It's really worth checking that out. Now let's get back to the music. I should have snuck a few more of those in, but this is the Quinn Johnson Trio. Now, I know this best of is a little keyboard heavy. If you know the room here, we're kind of a guitar hang most of the time, but we've had some great keyboard players come in, Carrie, and now this is Quinn Johnson, who's coming back with the Dave Tull Trio at the end of the month. But let me play this little clip, and this is with Kevin Axt on bass and Chris Wabich, our house drummer, on drums. Let's see if I can get to the right clip here. Where is it? There we go. Something is not working. There it is. Let's see if this works. Technology.
Now, I think we'll do one of these tunes from this latest recording of mine. This tune is called After Silence. And
Beautiful.
like that there. We'll see what happens.
Okay, take it away, guys. Yeah, they're amazing. I really love Quinn's playing, and he is going to be back. He and Kevin Axt are both playing in Dave Tull's trio. And speaking of which, let me just get on to my ad for the upcoming shows. Ooh, let me get rid of the mailing list thing there. I'll talk about that later. All right. Oh, I I didn't. I'm not taking the week off tonight. I'm here. So I don't know why that's still up there. I got to talk to my editor and get that figured out. But next Tuesday night we have the John Knowles, who's a guitar player. We had just directed Tommy Emmanuel's Guitar Camp USA. If you don't know Tommy, he's widely regarded as the greatest living guitar player right now, fingerstyle acoustic player. And John is a finger picker, but a jazz player. And he's got some great stories and some great insights to music. And I'm really looking forward to having him on. He lives out in Nashville. He'll be coming in remotely. And then next Thursday, that's right, the party band is back. It is one time we stray away from the straight jazz, and it's Switchblade 3. They're a rockabilly band, but they call themselves the Big Band Trio, which is super fun. And I'm going to play a clip of them next anyway, or soon. And you'll get a chance to see what they're like. But that's just kind of a party. And then we have a Sip in Time the following Thursday. And that is Larry Steen and Nikki Steen's group, which is also with Yaron Levy on guitar and Chris Blondell on drums, who's played here a bunch of times. And that is they're serving up a smooth souled cocktail. So that'll be kind of fun. Nikki's a vocalist. It'll be one of our first vocalists in here. And let's see, then after that, the Jazz Roundtable number 14 is Doug Webb. Doug Webb is a main staple and a very well-known sax player here in town. And he has a collection of over 200 woodwind instruments. And we're going to play some clips from these amazing pieces that the great composer arranger Ladd McIntosh has created, where he's played all the orchestral parts, but on woodwind instruments. They're absolutely mind-blowing. And he's going to talk about jazz in Los Angeles and just about his magnificent playing. Then we have to be determined. We have a band who there's something came up and they don't know if they can make it or not. But then the Dave Tull trio is coming out on the 28th, and Dave Tull is a drummer. I went to college with him, and we toured together with Maynard Ferguson. But he's playing with Quinn Johnson, who you just heard, and Kevin Axt, who you just heard. But Dave is an amazing singer, and I'm going to go out on a limb here. Not really. But Dave could be one of the best scat singers in Los Angeles I've ever heard. His ear is amazing, and he comes with these great lines. But he has a couple of albums out. One's called I Just Want to Get Paid, and the other one is called Texting and Driving. And he has, almost in a Dave Frischberg way, some very, very funny songs, and he's going to sing a couple of those for us. And then Mike Hoffman will be on the 14th. And then I couldn't fit it on the list here. Well, I could have if I'd taken the top line off. But Herman Matthews is bringing in a 7-piece band. That's right. You heard it. Herman's a great drummer, and it's piano, bass, guitar, and 3 horns in that little room over there. The same one you've seen all those other shows. So we haven't figured out exactly how we're going to do it, but it should be a lot of fun. So I hope you guys can come back for that. And then we got a great lineup through December, still booking some things, but that should be fun. More of the Jazz Roundtables. And speaking of which, I want to play you another clip. This is Terry Gibbs. Terry Gibbs is a vibe player. He's going to be 90 this year. And he is one of the oldest living cats from the bebop era, like actually in New York and touring and playing music. And he had some amazing stories. I will just tell you, it's worth watching. For the Coltrane story is great. And Terry was amazing. He was one of the first guys that broke the sex barrier. He didn't care what age, color, gender you were. If you could play, you were in his band. He did a lot of stuff that before a lot of other band leaders. But this is a particularly interesting story about the first time Charlie Parker came in to sing with his band. Let me see if I can find the right clip for that. Oh, I got to use the magic mouse for that. Here you go, Terry. And let me play you this story. It's pretty mind-blowing. It's a short story here.
Bird, I was just about, let me see, this is about 1947. Mm-hmm. I was a young kid still learning bebop. Mm-hmm. And Charlie Parker was a big jive. We all knew he was a junkie. But Bird was the greatest musician that ever lived to me. But he can con you into things that you wouldn't believe. When he used to walk out of Birdland, he'd say, hey, give me a quarter or give me $1. And you'd say, I don't have any money, I can't give it. He said, well, where are you working tomorrow night? And he'd say, I'm working over here, blah, blah, blah. And he said, I'll come and sit in with you. So you give him the money. He'd never show up. The place would be packed, but he'd never show up. So I walked, and I'm very vocal. I mean, especially those days, I was vocal with Charlie Parker and go. Anyhow, I come out of the club and he asked me for $1, and I told him off bad. I said, the greatest musician in the world begging. I said, you're ashamed, this and this. I went through a you won't believe it's like a father telling a son of his kid. And so he said, where are you playing tomorrow night? And I would say, at Georgia Old Stimpan Alley. I said, I'll come sit in with you. I knew he wasn't going to sit in with me, but I gave him $1. The next night, we're in the places, because people used to hear about Bird's going to come sit in, or Bird's going to be here, Bird's going to be there. And so we're starting our first song, which was Out of Nowhere, and the place is packed. It was, they were all small club, but the place was packed. We played 16 bars of the song, and all of a sudden, Bird walks in with alto sax, coming with the second 16 bars of Out of Nowhere, and he started playing. Now, those days, guys like Bird and Diz and Bud Powell used to play like 30 choruses at a time sometimes. Time meant nothing to those people. They stay on stage an hour and a half sometimes. They wouldn't care. And so he kept, and when it came to the Out of Nowhere has 32 bars.
Yeah.
So on the 30th bar, I bent down to tie my shoe, and I wanted to make sure that he was still playing on the first bar. Then I stood up. On the 30th bar of the next chorus, I bent down and tied my shoe, and unloosened something on my vibes. Billy, it was about 16 choruses that I was on the floor on the 30th bar of every chorus he played. If you would ask me, would I rather follow Charlie Parker or fight Mike Tyson, I would say Mike Tyson, one punch, you're out there. Standing there having a heart attack, waiting for Bird to get up because I got to follow him. And about the 17th chorus, my piano player looks at me on the ground. He says, I know what you're doing. I'm not going to follow him either. We were like scared rabbits. Now my second.
I will get this. I will get the button soon. That was a great conversation with Terry. I mean, he is still sharp as a tack, and he's got stories going back, 70 years about moving to LA, about the Dream Band and all that sort of stuff. It really kind of crazy and fun. So, but let's get back to some music stuff. And here is Switchblade 3. They are our rockabilly band. I think they've been here like 6 times. They're super fun. You can't not help but have fun. And I'm just going to play just a little tune by them. And so you get a vibe as to what they are about. Oh, there it is. Here we go.
so, baby, please don't go.
They are a super fun band. So I hope you can come back for that. That's next Thursday. And next Tuesday, like I said, John Knowles will be here on guitar. So anyway, we're getting kind of close to the end of the show. I know I don't have like an hour and a half worth of material like I normally do, but I just want to play a couple more things. And let's see if I think my hand claps are working now. Oh, they are. Great. Okay. I tell you, this is a lot of fun. And if you haven't been to the shows before and you want to watch them, I think it's mostly our regulars that are in here because I see this. Oh, by the way, I want to thank you to Tova and Michael for sending tips in. Thanks. Every little bit helps. But I miss having the guys here. And we're going to have a whole bunch of musicians in here this year. And even though we started this because of the pandemic and nobody had a place to play, things are opening up now, especially here in Los Angeles where we're doing really well. And I'm going to keep it going, at least for a while, and see how it goes. Going to work on some, try to build a bigger audience. We have such a great, loyal audience, but I think we could get more people that would love to come in every Thursday night and listen to jazz with us. So if you have any friends, please tell them, like, we're really grassroots organization. So if you have friends that like jazz, tell them about it. Get them to come in. If you're not on the mailing list yet, just, live at 0bpm.com. There's a little button to get on the mailing list. I don't spam. I usually send out one a week, but now I'm going to start sending out one on Monday and one on Thursday when there's a show. Just a quick little reminder of the show that night so you can, get that all synced in and everything. But I'm going to play a clip from Ron Jones was on one of the jazz roundtables. And Ron Jones is a very well-known composer and arranger here in Los Angeles. I mean, he did Star Trek Next Generation, he did Family Guy, did a ton of stuff. I played in his big band, and we played with Seth MacFarlane, sang in the group, and all sorts. It was really fun, but Ron he's led an amazing life, and his stories about film scoring and things like that and composing for jazz are great. But he ended the show with this little comment. I asked him, what would you tell people that wanted to get in to start listening to jazz? And he kind of took it in a different direction, but it's really worth seeing. And this is fitting as it's coming up towards the end of the show. Let me play this clip from Ron Jones here. What would you say to someone like that if they wanted to understand more about what's going on?
The thing is, we humans sang before we made language. Our first language was singing. And we communicated so all that is stored in us. All those, like even the way we hear is an overtone series. There's a nerve that goes in the auditory part of the brain, and it has a fundamental, and then the octave, and then just like the overtone series, because we were built as a reflection to the music and the sounds around us, bird calls, everything. So I would just say, find the music that you enjoy, that you love, and listen to a lot of it, because music is about hope and possibility, and it's cathartic. You can either pay $100 an hour for a therapist, or you can listen to Coltrane, because it takes your soul on a journey, and you have to pick out meaning from it. You say, that bass part means something to me, and the way that you like it is cool. It doesn't you don't have to like it like somebody else. You don't have to like it like me, like the Maniacs. You just have to like it. Like if you just love albums of triangles, people playing triangles, dig it, dig it, or get a harmonica or something. But it's part of our brain, and it's the part of the brain that's attached to our emotions. These little ear holes go directly into the emotions. So if you want to alter your emotions and you're feeling sad, play happy music, and in 5 minutes you'll forget what you were angry about. And if you want to be sad and you were happy, then we can do that too. It's like, I always think of myself as the minister of propaganda, is that I know how to push all those buttons using major, minor, suspended clusters, orchestration. So use that on yourself, like compose what you're going to listen to. You say, I'm going to make Thursday a great day, and I'm going to listen to blah, 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 and, make an appointment with yourself to listen. I mean, you're always an audience of one, whether you're at Carnegie Hall or sitting at home in your studio or in your home. You're always an audience of one listening. So just jump in.
Well, I think we will end the show there on that note.
We just got started.
Well, I'll have you. Yeah, Ron was an amazing guest. I encourage you to go back and look at any of the archives, any of these bands. A lot of these guys we're going to have back, like I said. And there is one other thing. The trio I did with Larry and Chris, we are going to do a Saturday night on November. I can't remember what day it's on. It's the first Saturday in November, and we are going to also do a backyard concert that night. So it'll be live stream from 6 to 8 Pacific, and we'll do a live. And it's going to be invite. We will let you guys know if you're on the mailing list. Then I'll put did I put the mailing list up there already? If you're on the mailing list, you'll get first tabs at tickets and that sort of thing. So, but if you're watching and you can't get to LA to come see us play, then you can also, we're going to live stream it as well. And Jeff or Brad will host it, or both of them. And like they did when I was gone. So now it's time. I thought we were going to be done, but I hear the audience has the encore clap. So of course I saved my trio for last because it's my freaking show. I can do what I want. Anyway, I always like to end my concerts on a very pensive, thoughtful, slow tune. A lot of people like to end with the big crashing tunes, but I like to end it, bring the mood down. And this is a tune that I wrote a million years ago. It's called Still, and it's just a pretty little tune. So I'm going to play this out. I'll say goodbye at the end. I put the tip jar up. If some of you want to tip, that's great. It's probably more important if you save your money for the live shows, because that really goes to the guys. I miss reading the comments. You guys are saying nice things about these guys, and I can't turn to them and tell them. It's like, hey, Quinn, people love your... Oh, you're not here. Anyway, but thanks for saying that. Thanks for hanging out. It's just kind of a small crowd tonight, which I get. The best of shows aren't as exciting as live shows, but they're still fun to do. And the reason I did it is I just came back from a state which has a very low vaccination rate, and I didn't want to... the risk that I may have caught it, I did not want to transfer it to any musician. So I got my rapid test this morning. I'll know tomorrow if I'm okay. And we should be great going forward because I feel fantastic. So anyway, well, let me play this clip. This is myself, Larry Steen on bass, and Chris Wabich on drums. And let's take a listen to Still. Yeah, and that night was that was a good night. That was with Brad and Jeff hosting. And if they're watching, I'm not sure if they are, but if they are, they did a great job. Some nights I'd be like calling them from out on the road and talking through things because the intricacies of this setup is not an easy thing to walk into. But anyway, I want to thank you all for coming and hanging out. I don't know if I forgot to mention, hi, Joyce. I think I said hi in the chat room, but Joyce is another one of our regulars. So great to see you and everybody else. And, let's see, I did talk about this stuff. And please, if you're watching still, like and share and, subscribe, do it, all that sort of stuff. Go to our website, do that, and check out the archives. And look forward to some of these great shows that are coming up. I'm really proud of the people we have coming in here. It's going to be an amazing month. And now, of course, it's time for me to play my outro, so you guys can know what's coming up next week. Okay? Hope you're all having a good week, and I will see you. Have a great weekend. I'll see you Tuesday and Thursday, and then the next Thursday, and then the Tuesday and the Thursday, and then get on the mailing list, and you'll know. Okay. Goodbye, everybody. Here's my applause for you. Thank you. Thank you all for coming out, and here we go.
Thanks for joining us at Live at 0 BPM. These videos we archived on YouTube and Facebook, so tell your friends. Coming up, 2 shows. On Tuesday, October 5th, it's the Jazz Roundtable number 4 featuring Ron Jones. On Thursday, October 7th, it's the Rockabilly Band Switchblade 3 Big Band Trio with Brad Heyman on slap bass, Aitaro Sacco on guitar, and Bernie Dressel on drums. Showtime, 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. And as always, it's free, though donations are very appreciated. Go to live@0bpm.com for details and to sign up for our mailing list. Also, find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. These Jazz Roundtable shows will also be released as a podcast, so please subscribe. See you soon.